What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? This is Jay checking in, man. We got skills, cybersecurity, man, and I'm going to get into a few of these video series. The first one we're going to get into is how to harden your Windows 11 system. I'm going to be toggling back and forth between a virtual machine for Windows 11, which is Windows 11 Home, and then my own personal computer, which is going to be Windows 11 Pro, because there's different settings that you can set for each one to kind of harden your system. So we're going to go through it. We'll talk about the PowerPoint. I'm gonna go through some of these slides and let's get it going. All right, so first thing is go through our mission statement. Got Skill Security Group. Got Skill Security Group empowers communities, families, and small businesses to stay safe in today's digital world through education-driven real-world cybersecurity. We deliver practical security practices, continuous monitoring, and proactive risk mitigation to stop threats before they become disruptions, building stronger, more resilient digital environments. So, phase one. Before you do anything, any changes on your computer, you have to make sure that you set up a restore point. A system restore point is going to create a point to all of the changes that we're going to make afterwards. If we mess something up and our computer explodes, we can go back. We can go back to that point before we can make that computer explode and make things work. So let's get into this. Let me switch back over to my desktop and let's switch over to this VM. All right, so here we are. Do this, we're gonna go into search. Let's go into create a restore point. All right, so first thing you want to check is system restore. All right, make sure we're good here. Now we're going to configure it. Turn on system protection. Make sure that's there. Now for your memory, I'm using a virtual machine, so I'm not going to use that much memory on this thing. We're going to just take it down to about 10 gigs. Go ahead and hit apply. Hit OK. And then we're going to create. All right. So to create a restore point, you just got to name it. So we'll name this skills restore 1. All right. And then hit create. It's going to go through your series of creating a restore point. We'll give it a second to do that. Boom, restore point was created successful. So let's move on to our next step. Next, we're going to update our windows, make sure all of our windows is all updated and good to go. For this, you're going to go back to your search. Go ahead and click on settings. At the bottom here, you'll see Windows Update. All right, I just checked it today, but we're going to go ahead and check it again just to be sure. You can never, have enough updates. So it looks like we're good. Last check to 7:33 p.m. Now for your settings, get the latest updates as soon as they're available. Make sure that is checked on. Then we're going to go to advanced options. Receive updates for other Microsoft products. Make sure that's on. Keep me up to date. Restart as soon as possible, even during active hours. You want to turn this off. You don't want your computer restarting while you're actually working. That wouldn't be good. Your boss will probably get mad at you if you're doing a presentation and just cuts out on you for an update. Download updates over metered connections. You can turn this off and then notify me when the restart is ready. Yes, make sure that is on. Now for your active hours, make sure you set that up for a time that you are actually going to be working on your computer. So for me, it's going to be between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Make sure this is not checked to automatic. Make sure it's checked to manual. Okay. All of these look good. So let's go to our next step. OneDrive. Let's see here. You go down to search, go to OneDrive. As you can see, my OneDrive is set up and it is in real time backing up all my pictures, my documents, my settings. So everything that I have on here will be available on my OneDrive. So if I want to access this on the line, we can access this through the cloud environment through Microsoft's OneDrive. All right, so that's it for the first step. Let's go back to our PowerPoint and get to the next one. All right, phase 2, account and access security. Here, we're going to be enabling our Windows Hello and multi-factor authentication. We're going to disable or rename any accounts that we do not recognize on this. Hopefully, you don't have too many accounts on here, but you only want to have one administrator account, and then everybody else should be under users, and they should not be able to download or make any changes to your system. And then we're going to go back, and then we're going to add another user that's going to be for our everyday use, and then another user that's going to be for our administrator, which is already present on the computer. So let's switch back over to our virtual machine. All right, down here you go to search. All right, and then we're going to go to settings. You're going to go to accounts. Right now here you can see that I am under an administrator name on here, but that's not enough. We need to add another device on here. All right, let's go to your account control panel. Sorry, here we go. All right, so under that you want to go ahead and click on user accounts. All right, you want to change account type and then add a new user in PC settings. So we're going to add account. All right, so you can sign in with a Microsoft account, or you could just add a person in without a Microsoft account. So click the blue, and then we're going to click add a user without a Microsoft account, and then add the username. We're going to put skills user. Make it secure. Make sure you have a nice long password with uppercase, lowercase characters for password length. All right, and then in case you forget, go through your security questions. All right. It's required, so I'm just gonna make some of this stuff up just because we're on a VM. Let's put city Chesapeake. These aren't the real answers to my security questions, obviously. Pet's name RJ. Security question 3. Childhood nickname Jake. All right, next. All right, so now that we have this on here, this is another user that you can use for your everyday stuff. Make sure you actually use correct security questions because you don't want to get locked out of your account. All right, so that all looks good. We got our accounts for our daily activity, and we have our admin account for all of our downloads. So let's look good. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. All right, phase 3. Enable BitLocker drive encryption, turn on Windows Defender Firewall, use control folder access, and disable remote desktop. If you have Windows 11 Pro, you can use remote desktop, but if you have home, it's not a available thing on here. So let's get through some of these. For the BitLocker, I'm going to go ahead and go switch over to my home device, and let's go through here. Go to search. You can type in the search manage BitLocker. Give it a second to pop up. All right, boom. All right, so you want to turn on BitLocker. It's going to go through these steps right here. Give this a second. Now, this is going to ensure that you have data integrity in all of your files. Make sure all of your files haven't been tampered with. Make sure that you are the one that is accessing these files and nobody else is accessing or making any changes to your files. So save to Microsoft account. All right, then click next. Encrypt using disk space only. Yes. New encryption. Yes. Start encrypting. All right, so now I was going through the process of encrypting my drive. It shouldn't take too long, but while that's loading up, I'm just going to minimize this and we're going to go back to our virtual machine. All right, so under here, you want to go through search settings. Now, we're trying to turn on our firewall, so you need to go down to privacy and security. Let's go to Windows security first. All right, viruses and threat protection. All right, manage settings. Make sure this is on. Real-time protections on. Device drive protection on. Cloud deliver protection on. Automatic sample submission on. Tamper protection important. Make sure that is turned on. Manage control folder access. Make sure that is definitely on. Let's go back. Firewall network protection. All right. You always want to be on a private network. Make sure that if you have stuff going through a public network, that you have a serious firewall that is running. Anything that you're running in virtual machines, you do not want them on a public network. You don't want anybody to be able to get into your virtual machines. So make sure you're running everything either Ethernet or on private network. In a later video, I'll show you guys how to set that up under your router. All right. So all of that looks good. There was remote desktop protocol, but like I said, that is not an option for Windows 11 Home, but I'm gonna show you how to get to it anyway. So let's go to system. You can scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Remote desktop. As you can see, your home edition of Windows 11 does not support remote desktop, so there's not a thing that we need to worry about. All right, so all of that looks good. Let's switch back over to our PowerPoint. All right, so phase 4, network and browser security. Here we're going to set the network over to private, enable DNS over HTTPS, and we're going to go ahead and harden our Microsoft Edge. All right, so let's switch back over to our virtual machine. Boom. All right, so let's go back to our settings. All right, we're going to go to network and internet. Click Ethernet if you're on Ethernet, or if you're clicking Wi-Fi, pick Wi-Fi. All right, we're going to be on a private network. Configure firewall and security settings. Yes. All right, so we did that earlier. So let's go down to our DNS. Click edit. All right, make sure this is set to manual. IPv4, make sure that's on, and you can set this preferred DNS to 1.1.1 or 8.8.8. It really doesn't matter. DNS over HTTPS, make sure that is turned on. And then all of this looks good. So go ahead and click save. So now let's go ahead and harden our Microsoft Edge. Click on Microsoft Edge, go ahead and open that up. Or Chrome, both of the steps are kind of similar. Up here, you're going to see this options with the 3 dots. Click down to here, go to settings. All right, and then we're going to go over to privacy, search, and services. All right, tracking prevention. Make sure this is turned on. Enable tracking prevention. Make sure that's turned on. Make sure that is on strict. All right, block trackers. If you want to add anybody to this, you can. Yep, and then let's go down to privacy. Do not track requests. Make sure that's turned on, and then turn off help improve Microsoft products. You don't want anybody tracking your data or your browser history or anything like that. So that looks good. Let's go back to security. Manage certificates. We'll do that a little bit later in another video, but protect harmful sites and downloads. Make sure that's on. Unwanted apps on. Website typo protection on. Sometimes the internet sites can be spoofed, so they can change a word or the letter formation in a website, and it'll take you to something that'll download malware on your computer. So make sure you have this turned on. Scareware blocker on. Block sites detected as scams. Already turn that on. Microsoft Defender Smart Screen. Turn that on. Use a secure DNS. Use current service provider. So we're going to be using our Verizon service provider. Strict security on the web, and then use Microsoft Edge Secure Network. Make sure that is all turned on. Now your Microsoft Edge browser is completely secure. All right, there are other for Chrome, there are other extensions and things like that you can download, but we'll also get into that into a later session. All right, so let's switch back over to our PowerPoint. All right, phase 5. Update and maintenance. Enable automatic updates for apps. We're going to go through our Microsoft Store and make sure we got all of our updates going. Regular security scans. Schedule weekly Defender quick scans. You can go through security laws, make sure everything is good there. And then always document, screenshot everything. Not only for your portfolio, but just for your peace of mind. So if anything happens in any settings that you put on your computer, you need to go back and verify or make sure that, you know, how did I do this? I don't remember. You have screenshots and everything that's in a notebook that can help you remember and verify everything that you're putting in. So let's switch back over to our desktop. All right, so we're going to go to here, click on Microsoft Store right here. All right, give that a second to load up. All right, you can click on the icon up here. Go to Store Settings. All right, app updates. Make sure that's turned on. Notifications for app installations. Make sure you turn that on. Purchase without passcode. Turn that off. In case somebody does get onto your computer, which we hope not, but you do not want them to be able to just buy things and blow up your credit card. So without a passcode, they cannot get into it. So that's another step of multi-factor authentication. Offline permissions made this PC the one I use to run some games and apps. You can turn that off unless you're gaming on it. Video autoplay, do not turn that on. Make sure that is off. Sometimes we hide malware inside of video files, so make sure that you turn this off. Personalized experiences, that's fine. We can leave that on. All right, so weekly security scans. Let's go here. Let's go through. Type in Windows R tasks. chd.msc is going to take you to your task scheduler. I've already set it up, but I can go through the steps with you really quick. All right, under general, you want to name it. So we named it Microsoft Defender Quick Scan. The author, of course, is your username on the computer. The description, you can name it whatever you want. All right, run only when user is logged on. All right, you only want to do it when you're logged on. Run with highest privileges, of course. This is a Windows Home Edition, so we're going to click on Windows 10 here. For triggers, you want to do it weekly, whatever time you want to do it. I'm doing mine at 1:16 every Sunday of the week starting today. All right, so what you do is just click new and then you set that for your triggers. Actions. All right, you can grab this off of line or you can get it from ChatGPT, but this is the command that you want to kind of copy and paste into here, but still verify it and make sure that it's right. And then conditions. Start the task if the computer is on AC power, that's fine. Stop the computer if it switches to battery power, that's fine. Settings. Allow tasks to be run on demand, make sure that's checked. Run tasks as soon as possible. Stop tasks if it runs longer than an hour. If the running task is not in, request it, force it to stop. All right. All that looks good. After that, you just click OK, and now we have our automatic scan set up. So again, make sure you document everything so we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's switch back to our PowerPoint. Go ahead and wrap things up. All right, thank you for tuning in. Please follow me on all social media platforms, dj.jskills with a Z. And also I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there at jmarable. So once again, man, this is brought to you by ASOC, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. Signing out. Y'all have a good one.